love, romance, tragedy, death. This is the story of a modern-day princess. More specifically, Princess Diana. Now, many people feel unloved at one point in their lives or another. Unfortunately, Princess Diana felt that way most of the time. Now, I kind of have a little breadth of knowledge about Princess Diana because I find her extremely fascinating and I love reading about her life. Princess Diana was a well-loved member of the royal family, and by well-loved, I mean the people of England adored her. She was known as the People's Princess. Diana Frances Spencer was born July 1st, 1961, in Sandringham, England, to parents Edward John Spencer and Frances Ruth. Now, her parents went through a nasty divorce, according to her biography at biography.com. Her mother ended up running away with another man, and her father gained sole custody of her. According to her NBC interview, she stated, "It was an unhappy childhood. My parents were busy sorting themselves out," which to me seems like she felt unloved by her parents because they were too busy focusing on their own lives to worry about her, which is extremely sad to me. She was educated at Brittlesworth Hall and went to boarding school at Westheath. She went to finishing school at Alfinte Vinamente. Now, I don't know if that's the correct way to pronounce it or not, but she ended up teaching kindergarten at Young England School, and during this time, she was introduced to Prince Charles Philip Arthur George by her sister, Sarah Spencer. Now, this first meeting was not the best meeting. Her first impression of Charles, well, let's just say it was not love at first sight. And she quotes, "First impact was, God, what a sad man, with his Labrador." Does not sound like Charles made a good first impression on her. Charles was 13 years older than her when they met, and eventually he wooed her and they were engaged. And the engagement was announced on February 4th, 1981. Now, the engagement was supposed to be a happy time, full of bliss and splendor. But Diana remembers it a different way. Apparently, she lost 5.5 inches off her waistline in just 5 weeks, and this is because she became bulimic right after her engagement. She said in her interview, "Bulimia started the week after we got engaged. My husband put his hand on my waistline and said, 'Oh, a bit chubby here, aren't we?' Now, that is not something you want your fiancé to say to you right before you get married." She also had suspicions that Charles and Camilla were seeing each other behind her back. She found a bracelet that Charles was giving to Camilla and also heard phone calls that Charles and Camilla had. But by the time the wedding rolled around, she hoped that Charles and Camilla's affair was not happening. She actually said that on her wedding day, "I couldn't take my eyes off him. I just absolutely thought I was the luckiest girl in the world. And you know, he was gonna take care of me." Well, I was wrong on that assumption. Which means even after they got married, Charles had an affair with Camilla. But out of the marriage did come 2 beautiful boys. William Arthur Philip was born on June 21st, 1982, and Henry Charles Albert David was born September 15th, 1984. Now, Diana's children were her whole life. She confided in her friend, Dr. James Colthurst, about almost everything. And he was the one that actually conducted the NBC interview. And she told him, "I hug my children to death. I get into bed with them every night and hug them and always say, Who loves you the most in the whole wide world? And they say, Mommy. It's so important. James Coldhurst actually said that the monarch controlled Diana's children, and that's why she never spoke out. But eventually she did speak out, and Charles and Diane announced their divorce in December of 1992. But it was not finalized until 1996. Unfortunately, Princess Diana died prematurely in 1997 after a car accident in Paris when her driver was trying to escape from the paparazzi. She died with her then boyfriend, Dante Alfieri, and according to reports, her driver did have high alcohol in his blood. But Diana did not die without her name going down in history. She helped out with the battle against landmines, with the homeless, with the children in need, and after her death, a memorial fund was set up in her honor. I have a Beanie Baby that actually the proceeds of it went to that memorial fund. You can see it right here. A lot of people bought it to have her memory. And also, her son William and her daughter-in-law Princess Kate named their newborn daughter Princess Charlotte Elizabeth Diana right after her in her honor. Thank you for listening about Princess Diana. Have a good day.